Welcome back everybody, and thank you for joining me for my review of Mugen Souls. And this JRPG sees you joining Chow Chow on her mission to conquer the universe and its 7 worlds. So, first up, if you're into your tutorials, you will absolutely love this game. It is just full of them everywhere. And to be honest with you, after playing the game for a couple of hours, I kind of see why. Because, well, basically, I've played it for a good few hours and I'm still not 100% sure everything that's happening in the game. It was more of an understanding of if I do this and this, then this happens, rather than this is why this is all happening. And to be honest, because the game was kind of engaging, the story was pretty decent as well, that was almost enough to keep me going. And because of this, I'm not going to go into 100% detail on everything within the game because, again, I just didn't understand it all. But basically, you're a character, it's done in a very JRPG way, you have other people that come with you, and you consider yourself as a bit of a god, and to those extents, you set out to try and bend everyone to your will. Battling as a whole is done in your normal way, turn-based type of thing where you can move around the screen to a certain degree, but there are quite a few different aspects from your normal JRPG, sort of. I mean, they've all got their quirkiness, don't they? Within Mugen Souls, you can turn your enemies into peons, if and only if they fancy you, and you can change your look as well. This can be done before a battle or actually on the fly, but you have different type of characteristics, all kind of serving different emotions and different enemies. And choosing the right description means that, well, you turn them into peons at the end of the battle. It's really weird. And then, as well as being able to do this in battle, you can even turn continents into peons, sort of, and this will open up extra areas for you. And within these continents, you have to inspect these clues to find hidden peons and take them over, which will gain you eventually 100% peon rate. Another aspect of battling that is actually kind of worth mentioning is the blast off ability. This can be activated at times, and basically it turns the game almost into like a snooker table, whereas you can hit enemies and knock them into other enemies, doing damage and the like. And then there's these crystals that, well, destroying them and doing different things with them does more damage and enables you to do other things. And once again, I'm not even going to pretend I knew kind of like what oddities was going on within this game, but there was plenty to be done and plenty of, well, odd things happening. The story was pretty decent, as I said. I quite enjoyed watching the cutscenes, and they were even voiced. And trust me, the tutorials go in depth enough that you do understand what you're actually meant to be doing, even if you don't understand why it's actually happening. But hey, you can do it, and that's enough for me. Another aspect of battling is the pirate ships, and basically these are kind of like rock, paper, scissors for ships. This did work quite well, and you do get sort of like these clues as well, unlike the peon battle type things where I thought it was okay. It was just, unlike the battleships, the clues were kind of like very vague and, for me, not always understandable. Therefore, you just had to just keep going back and back and back, doing different combinations until you got it right. Did I mention the tutorials? I believe I did, and there are loads of them. Graphically, it did actually look pretty decent, as you can see, and I did enjoy all the cutscenes. I enjoyed the sound of the game, the fact that it was more or less voiced. There's some bits that weren't voiced, and I felt that there were bits that were meant to be voiced but weren't voiced, so that was kind of odd at times, with the bit of silence running through like a cutscene where you know it should have actually had voice over.
Turn to the castle and prepare.
Whoa, wait a tick! I got business with you!
I've no time to play, kid. I must have...
Demon Lord? You know where it is? Alright, so?
I mean, asking me, well, it's embarrassing, so...
I believe, and don't quote me on this, this was a PS3 game originally, and it kind of shows it's got a nice amount of polish, but it not got a modern day polish to it, if that makes any sense. You can definitely tell it's really old generation. But to be honest with you, you don't really care once you get into the story and kind of into the groove of the game. You start unlocking other things, powers and abilities, and leveling your character up. It kind of gets a lot more interesting. And the interaction between the characters are weird but funny, and quite enjoyable at times. Especially Chow Chow's ego, which is definitely a standout in the whole entire game. And the ability to armour yourself up, buy and sell different weapons and items, and all that usual JRPG goodness is there. There's a central hub where you can go and buy things, sell things, and just basically check things out, which is pretty cool. And another great thing is the fact that no, you can't save the game automatically wherever you are, but there are plenty of save positions, and that is just really good to have, to be honest with you, especially for a player like myself that's kind of not noobish, but not playing these games quite as often as others. Okay, so I'm kind of feeling that I'm giving more of a basic guide to the game rather than an in-depth guide, but I'm also very aware that if I went in-depth, then this video could easily be 30-40 minutes long. And to them ends, I'm going to head over to the score. And this game is just so weird, it really is. But it's good weird, it's fun weird, it's a weird that has so many different mechanics and a tutorial for each that the first hour was just so bizarre with one tutorial after the other. But I coped, it was fun, they kept it interesting. And I really do think that anyone that's really into this genre would probably enjoy it. And anyone that's played the original would probably get a bit of a blast out of playing it again, but being able to walk around playing it. And with that, I'm going to give Mugen Souls a 7 out of 10. It is a pretty decent game, but I don't think it's for everyone. I firmly believe that some people will struggle with the gameplay and the mechanics. And as I said before, I found a few glitches here and there, but nothing game breaking for me. But I did find those mechanics a little difficult to get behind. And with that, if you've got anything to say about Mugen Souls, leave it down in the comments as usual, and I'll try my best to reply to all of them. And come and join us in our community Discord, the link is down below. Thanks for joining us, take care of yourself out there, because life is better when we game together.